Government Notice of Motion number 2.
Mr Speaker.
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, I move Government Notice of Motion number 2 in the name of the Honourable Jerry Brownlee. Mr Speaker, well, it's still better than yours. Mr Speaker, it's been a long year for the New Zealand economy and for New Zealand families. If we cast our mind back to January or February when the House got back together, the world was transfixed by a financial crisis, and there was some very real concern that the economies of the developed world would go into some kind of free fall or meltdown. So coming to the end of the year, we are able to reflect on perhaps New Zealand's good fortune. We dodged the worst of the financial crisis, but also reflect on the good management of a government that has helped stabilise the economy, helped to stabilise and rebuild confidence. And yesterday the government produced some economic forecasts that show some improvement on the budget as recently as the middle of the year. It is a time also, Mr Speaker, when we should reflect on those who are hardest hit by a recession. And generally, as in this recession, as in others, it is often those who are least able to carry that burden. So there will be families going into Christmas where the primary earner or both earners have lost their jobs, and they will be concerned about what their prospects are for next year. In fact, many of them will be concerned about how they're going to get through next week. And that is why it is so important that we continue to focus on policy that is going to give hope to those families who face Christmas with doubts about their own futures. Mr Speaker, it's also traditional at this time of year to thank those who have helped make our democracy work. And on behalf of the Prime Minister, I wish to do that. But I want to start by thanking the Prime Minister for his leadership, but also for something we haven't seen in politics for a long time, and that is the sheer enjoyment of the job. The sheer enjoyment of the job. A happy change from the dour, sad look of the Labor government as it departed this chamber just 13, 14 months ago. Mr Speaker, I want to thank you for your oversight of the chamber. I see now that the public holds you in the same high esteem in which we have always held you. And it is... Mr Speaker, I've been in the House with you for 19 years, and it's pleasing to see that others are seeing those aspects of your character that we have always known about. Mr Speaker, can I thank the Deputy Speaker and Assistant Speakers, the staff and officers of Parliament, the clerks' offices, the travel office, the security staff and the police who work in the complex and always have a pleasant word for us, the select committee staff, Hansard reporters, the messengers, the catering staff, the cleaners who many of us see coming into the building just as we are leaving, and the librarians in the Parliamentary Library, support staff for parliamentary services and our MPs, and also our out-of-Parliament officers and the staff there who tirelessly work for our constituents, many of whom, of course, have greater needs because of the recession. Can I thank those staff who actively support the government, staff and ministers' offices, the Whip's office, the Cabinet Office and DPMC, who ensure, with their high degree of professionalism, the successful operation of the Cabinet, the support staff and ministerial services, VCO and VIP Transport, who also always have a pleasant conversation to pass the time of day, the Parliamentary Council Office. I want to also thank officials from government departments. It's always a big deal for officials when the government changes, but I want to acknowledge this year the professionalism and excellence of the New Zealand Public Service. They handled a change of government and a drastic change in fiscal outlook with professionalism, with independence, and I might say in some cases with courage and urgency. Mr. Speaker, I also want to thank the government's support parties. They came to the support arrangements with this government with great goodwill, I might say with something of a divergence of interests and opinions. But it has always been clear. It has always been clear from the start that the relationships we have with the United Future Party, with the ACT Party and the Maori Party are relationships based on respect, not always agreement. And I want to thank them for the integrity that they have brought to some sometimes very difficult issues. The integrity of being open with their concerns, of dealing openly about those concerns with other ministers, and their integrity in backing the position that the government has come to. I'm very pleased to note that the innovations this government has made, building on changes the previous government made to coalition arrangements, have worked out well, such as support party ministers regularly attending cabinet committees, which has created, I think, more of a sense of a collective interest and a broad understanding of each other's points of view about a wide range of issues. So I want to acknowledge the critical part that those parties have played in bringing stable government. And if there was a year when stable government was needed in New Zealand, it was this year, when there has been so much uncertainty in the wider world. Mr. Speaker, I also want to thank the press gallery, whose esteemed members have provided careful reporting and thorough analysis of what the government's been doing, who have shared in a professional manner both the good news about what the government's doing and the bad news about what the economy's doing, and the occasional minor issue that they think's a big issue. But, you know, that's all part of the political process, Mr. Speaker. I also want to thank the lobbyists, because the lobbyists have learned what good government is about. We've had to educate them, because when they turn up now, they bring along a serious case. They're willing to take responsibility for the discussions and the decisions that are made. And how many times have members of the national-led government had lobbyists and interest groups say to them, "Isn't it great the government changed?" And not necessarily, and this is some of Labor's best friends who come along and say to us that it is great that the government has changed. And Mr. Speaker, I'd like to thank the opposition for giving us such a free run. I never thought that getting into a government in recession would be so easy in the chamber and so easy in the battleground of the media. And I want particularly to thank my opposition spokesperson, David Cunliffe. Well, I had thought through the year that he was auditioning for the leadership of the Labor Party. But he's not. He's auditioning to be the next James Bond. And what's more, he's almost persuaded me that he might be the right sort of person for that part. And of course, Labor can reflect on the year. At the start of the year, their leadership was secure and firm, and by the end of the year, it's in doubt. And there's no point in the Labor Party denying that, because I know what it looks like. I could give you in fine detail, Mr. Goff, the manual that your caucus is following. Step 1 through to step 17. They're up to about step 2, but there is nothing more inevitable than step 3, step 4, step 5, and I'm quite happy to report on the benchmarks as they go. So your first report, Mr. Goff, is they're on step 2. And there will be a barbecue season. There is absolutely no doubt about that. There will be a barbecue season. But I can tell you this, it won't be at Phil's place. It won't be at Phil's place. So, Mr Speaker, can I wish the opposition and their families all the best of Christmas.
Mr Speaker, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition.